Hey everyone, True here, and today we are going to take a look at the new unit Light Anya, and it is the first new SSR guard in nearly a year. It really seems like the Anyas are trying to challenge the guard supremacy by the Ludmillas. But can this Anya succeed? Let's take a look. And in the stats department, right away, we can see that Light Anya is coming ahead because she actually has the highest HP stat in the whole game. Of course, this is kind of, balanced by the lowest attack stat in the game, but I mean, she is a guard, so the HP is really what we care about. More about that when we check her skills. Her speed is also very low, similar to Light Ludmilla's speed, but this is not as problematic as with Light Ludmilla, as we will see. The first active skill is Life Flip Attack, and as the name says, it's basically a simple 100% attack, but with the nice side effect, or kind of the main attraction actually, being that she gets to flip her HP if it is under 50%. So if she has 20% HP after this attack, she will have 80% HP. It actually gives 2 spirits, so if she is lower on HP and gets the turn, she will certainly be able to use it, but it costs 130 time units, and that is kind of a steep price, but she might actually get to much higher TU, as we will see later on the passive skill side. The second passive skill is a skill that we've already seen with Storm Michaela 1 month ago, and it is Purify Heal for 0 spirit, basically purifying a negative status effect from one ally and then also healing them for 25% of their max HP. And that is obviously a very, very good support skill. It only costs 50 time units, and as I said, it's 0 spirit, so it's free. Much better than the old Purify Heal that we saw with Fire Callan over 2 years ago. And then we have her pretty much only really potent attack skill, and that is Banishing Avenger, which is dealing 750% damage to one enemy if they have defeated one or more units with attacks while on the battlefield. And if that enemy is not defeated, then it actually banishes the enemy, if that is possible, away from the battlefield to the very back of the enemy reinforcements. So this is obviously a very, very strong move. It only costs 100 time units. It does cost 2 spirit, but yeah, it is definitely something to watch out for. The banishing side effect is actually pretty good because Light Anya's attack stat isn't really all that great. And so even 750% damage could possibly not be enough to take out the enemy. And so in this way, she can act as a banisher. And this is not limited. This is not a limited skill. So she could obviously banish multiple enemies, but it only works on units that have actually defeated a unit on your team. And then we have the fourth skill, which is another instant skill. So basically a skill that only takes 1 time unit, and it is a give turn for 0 spirit. So it is for free. Really, really good here, because basically what this means is you get to give an ally the turn, and then pretty much immediately after that turn, most likely, you will get another turn with Light Anya. So that is really, really good stuff. But it is limited in 2 ways. So on the one hand, obviously it needs to get locked. So it is getting locked for 200 time units after use and can only be used again after that time has passed. And on the other side, this skill, giving the turn to another ally, that ally that is given the turn cannot use a give turn themselves. So you can't, kind of give it to a Light Mirai who then gives turn to another of your allies. So it is not possible to kind of get a give turn train going just from this. But now the really interesting part, because as I said in the beginning, she is a guard, and she actually has the Divine Guard plus passive. so even better than a normal Divine Guard. How is it better? She is a 100% Guardian, which is already in itself a really, really strong skill, as you will notice if you look at my tier lists. And on the other hand, she heals, 10% of max HP whenever she gets hit. But here's where the plus comes in. If this is damage taken from one of the first 3 times she gets attacked, then she actually heals for 75% of max HP, which, needless to say, is a huge amount given her extremely high HP and the guard status. And then the second skill is a completely new skill. It is called the superconductor. There is no stun absorb passive so far in the over 100 units that have been released as SSRs in Evertale. So this is kind of the first, but it comes with a few other nice parts. So she is a stun absorber. That is, 1 point straight away. But there's another point which is very, very important. Whenever she takes damage from an attack and doesn't die, she will get the endure status if she doesn't have it already. So basically, it's a temporary hold ground that can activate again and again as long as she somehow stays alive. The hold ground is gone again once it triggers, but if she survives the next attack after that, then again she will have the new endure and hold ground effect. And the third part, which is, kind of okay-ish, I suppose, if she is on the battlefield at the very start of the battle, which I can see happening in the future, to be honest, then she also gets the armor status effect, which grants 50% damage reduction. But as we know, there are a lot of skills out there that can actually ignore that kind of damage reduction. On full awakening, she unlocks the ability to also use staffs besides, her main weapon, which are maces. And we also see the sword resist effect, which means she takes 10% less damage from attacks by units equipped with swords, one of which could very well be Lancelot. Before I share my thoughts on how this unit will perform in the arena, let's quickly take a look at her AI analysis. Her threat level is 1.03 for the whole time, but this is not really something that is hugely important because she is a 100% guard after all. This might also only come into effect, if there's multiple guards on the field. But in any case, the more important part is the skills, even though, and now I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but she is a stun absorber after all, and so she might not get a huge amount of turns. She might need a give turn support actually. But in any case, looking at the skill weights when she gets the turn, we do see a huge weight for instant give turn, which is good because if she can use it, there's basically no downturn to it. The other skills are kind of on the lower side, but this is just, the high level numbers here, and there are multipliers affecting these numbers on the battlefield. And one of these examples, I think, is the life flip attack, which she will usually prioritize under 25% HP, but already under 37.5% HP. There is quite a boost for her to want to use that skill. The base weight for it is 0.3. For Purify Heal, it is 0.25. Again, this will be adjusted upwards if there are, for example, some allies that are asleep or something like that, or very, very low HP and need to be saved. And then we have the Banishing Avenger, which is 0.4 weight, and again, is being impacted by some certain conditions on the battlefield. So what are my initial impressions regarding the arena potential for Light Anya? Of course, we have entered this kind of stun meta with the recent unit releases over the last months, and so a stun absorber was kind of overdue. it is an interesting choice that it is actually a guard that is this stun absorber, but with the kind of passive that Light Anya fronts, it makes sense to a certain point. But still, she doesn't have, any ability to kind of reduce the stun that is applied to her or anything like that. Everything gets soaked up. So the first point kind of is that you may want to combine her with an actual give turn unit. That could be Light Mirai, that could be Light Haku, that could be Stormlord Miller. And then this is really something to work with. But even then, I do think her survivability is limited after taking the first few hits. That said, even when she is stunned to death, basically, and has no gift turner supporting her, she will be very hard to kill at first. So let's say she starts in the beginning of a battle and kind of gets immediately stunned by Storm Jean, and then Lancelot gets her turn, maybe even, stuns her again with the instant stun, bringing her stun over 300 time units, basically. Then getting Royal Swift Slash, and this is the interesting part, even the Royal Swift Slash might not be enough to kill her, especially because before Lancelot attacks Light Anya, probably another unit has already attacked Light Anya, and then, because she will survive a very low hit, if she has very good HP, she will gain the endure effect, and then even, this kind of strong attack from Lancelot, if it brings her to theoretical 0 HP, she will survive with 1 HP, and if it is only the third strike, which is also likely, then she will actually heal back 75% of her HP and will be basically as good as new for the time being. But after these 3 hits are through, it will be a bit difficult to survive if she is actually being stunned. If not, then you better look out, because she has the divine healing, she has the potential life flip, she has the endure effects that she can gain again and again. And if she is fully awakened and fully maxed, kind of fronting these insane HP, then even just a 10% heal will bring her up again quite an amount, and then kind of a simple attack will trigger again her endure effect, and that can kind of go on, and we are not talking about her even getting a turn at this point, and she might get the turn and do a life flip attack, and then basically she's again over 90%, has another chance to reset the endure effect, because it is unlikely she will get defeated once she is at such high HP. One of her weaknesses may be poison and burn. This is true for all the endure units and all the hold ground units, obviously. And so this is something to consider, but at the moment, that is the good thing for her. There's not really very, very strong poison and burn units out there. And given her element, which is light, she is weak against dark units, and dark units are also struggling a lot recently. One of her pluses is that she can pretty much be used in any team. There's nothing really stopping you from using her in a stealth team or something, where Brightlit Miller is obviously a bit of a drawback, removing that kind of stealth status. The same is true for burn teams, but this is kind of the only thing. I mean, burn teams, I'm not sure if I would actually like that this much, because it has the potential to actually harm her if she is burning and gets down to the endure, kind of dying from that. But honestly, with the Divine Guard plus passive, I would still think you can pretty much put her anywhere. If she is actually facing a stun team, then it would be nice if you have a give turner with her. But I mean, even, let's say she dies after a few attacks and soaks up a lot of these stuns that would be directed at your damage dealers, she might have already done a great job for your team, kind of making the difference of being able to defeat the enemy team because you were able to take out their DPS at the same time. In the end, she kind of looks like Lightlet Miller 2.0, and Lightlet Miller, even over 3 years after her release, is still ranking in the S tier in my tier list. So needless to say, I think this unit has a lot of potential. I already kind of told you some of the drawbacks, but I do think she will go to SS tier in my tier list. This is obviously only my first estimation. We will have to see how she performs on the battlefield. As per usual, I will upload videos of her performance in the arena, so you can make yourself your own picture. And I would actually recommend waiting to pull until the lucky fountain arrives in the middle of the next week, and then you can actually also gain some pull rewards for pulling on the Light Anya banner, which might be a good choice. Honestly, I can even see her have some worth at just 1 copy. I mean, she is a 100% guard, and she does potentially gain the endure effect. So if you have her highly leveled at 1 copy, she might still be able to take that first smaller hit and gain the endure status, kind of ensuring that she stays alive for a bit longer. And if it is possible for her to kind of disrupt the enemy stun terrain from the likes of Lancelot and Stormsheen, then this is already great value, even at 1 copy. Obviously, if you want her to be as tanky as possible, there's no way past fully awakening her, but compared to, the classic DPS with guards and with supporters, you have a bit more leeway as to if you absolutely need to fully awaken her. But that's it for now. I've been rambling on for way too long already. Thanks to Nizetto and LensJS for the materials used in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps my small channel a whole lot. And as always, thanks for watching.